Hello, everybody. It's your boy, 1 1, aka Heaven Sent, 11 of a 12. And I just want to speak on something that has been brought to my attention. This actually kind of came on my radar from my mom, of all people. And I don't do the socials like that. I'll be scrolling through sometimes and I'll occasionally catch something. But I don't really do the socials, especially the negative stuff. I try to protect my energy, so I really just kind of stay away from it. But I do feel like this is something that men can learn from. And what am I talking about? Obviously, I am talking about the DDG situation. And why I believe DDG is going to get the Tory Lanez treatment. And before I start, I want to just say this to set the record straight. Anything that I say is not to minimize or invalidate the allegations from the accuser. If they are, as they say they are, a victim of domestic violence, they should be protected. Even coming out and just stating that you have experienced domestic violence, I believe that you should be protected. Because it does take a lot of courage to state that you have been a victim of domestic violence, especially over an extended period of time with a person that you have a child with. That is not necessarily a good image to have, especially for someone that is a celebrity. Even stating that takes courage. So yes, I think they should be protected. Anything that I say is just my opinion. I do not know either parties in this situation, and I don't know anyone that's close to them. So this is purely my opinion from the limited information that I have seen online. Now, with that being said, I believe DDG is cooked. Unfortunately, I have seen videos that included the court documents, and those documents are very damning for DDG. Obviously, the states, their specificity. There are specific instances and situations and events that happened that the accuser provided in those court ordered or those court documents. Also, there's video. There's video that the accuser stated that they will provide to the court. There's text messages they have provided to the court. There are police reports that they have provided to the court. There's pictures that they have provided to the court. And fellas, you want to know why they call it court? You know what happens on courts? They play games. They play games with your life and your legacy. So as soon as you step foot in a courtroom, you're playing a game that you cannot win. Historically, people of color, specifically black men, lose. We do not fare well in court. Even if you're innocent. In Tory Lanez case, he is not innocent. He is convicted. There may be new testimony that's coming out recently that can overturn his conviction, but he is convicted of assaulting a woman with a weapon. He was a black man. There were two women that were also a part of this case. One was the victim. The other, they provided her with immunity. How could they provide her with immunity? There's only 3 parties involved. It's because they were looking to go for the low-hanging fruit. And there's a pun in there somewhere. But as a black man, you will not win in court. That's a hint to the pun. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. You will not win in court. And in this case, especially with the information that's in the documents, I believe DDG has had physical altercations with the accuser. That is my personal belief. That is not fact. That is my personal belief. I also want to mention that I am not aware of how that dynamic was introduced into the relationship. Because men and women are very similar. We like to think there's this vast gap between men and women, but at the end of the day, we are very similar. That includes our strengths and our flaws. Typically, men are associated with violence. But we all know there are women out there that think they can fight men. There are women with short tempers. And then for a man, one thing that can make us violent is if we have a hit to our ego, our manhood. That can make us a little bit more volatile. And if we believe the rumors to be true, there may have been some infidelity that has been a part of this relationship, that was introduced into this relationship. And if the rumors are true, that may have caused a little bit of a hit to the accused, to their ego. Now, if that was me, I would just leave. However, you have a child with this person and maybe you feel a certain way, like they ruined your family or ruined your relationship or ruined everything that you potentially hope for. Women also have egos. Their egos generally are wrapped around their vanity. I'm a baddie. I'm so fine. Men should do this for me. There comes the entitlement. I am this caliber of woman physically that I deserve this type of lifestyle or this image. And as a man, if you cannot provide that to them, you're cut off. So back to how this was introduced into the relationship, have no idea. But I do want to speak about an experience that I had previously with one of my exes. So my ex, she physically assaulted me. She attacked me. And of course, the initial altercation, I just blew it off. Hey, don't do that. I don't play like that. And then during that altercation, they tried to escalate it with me. They want me to engage. They wanted me to engage to get a reaction out of me to potentially doing something that would send me to prison. So I did what I advise all men to do. I called the police. I called the cops. Now, yes, you're taking a risk. As a man of color, calling the cops, you are taking a risk. But you are also taking a risk if you don't. And it sucks because as a man, you want to protect the person that you love or the women that you love. But there's a chance that that actually can be used against you. Because if they introduce, in my case, if she were to have introduced physical violence into our relationship, and I interacted with that, maybe that night, nothing would have come of it. Maybe they would have thought, I kind of started it. It is what it is. We're just going to put this past us. And then maybe something happens to you in which something unforgivable. You take a hit to your ego due to infidelity. And because that dynamic has been introduced into your relationship previously, you engage. You initiate that physical altercation. And now they have picture evidence. They have videos. And no one's going to care about the nuance. The only person that's going to care is your mama. No one's going to care, well, she did it first. She attacked me first. Because you're a man. You are held to a higher standard, and you should be. You should hold yourself to the highest standard. No one's going to care about the nuance. And if you take that into court, you're going to lose. You're going to be looked at as the black man, the rapper who attacked the Little Mermaid. So again, men, you should really protect yourself. You cannot protect things that do not belong to you. And I don't want to get on the hippie speak, but nothing belongs to you. The only thing you have is your mind and your morals, and your mind can go. So I don't care if it's your baby moms, your wife of 60 plus years. If you have to protect yourself by calling the police, you better do it. Also, if any person gets under your skin to a point in which you have to physically assault them or physically restrain them, you have lost. If you're not able to communicate to that person, or if they're not able to receive in a meaningful way, the way that you communicate, as constructive, you need to find another person and stay away from that person. I don't care. Because then you'll find yourself in situations like this. You'll find yourself in situations like Tory Lanez, who almost died. And again, in Tory Lanez's case, he is guilty. He is convicted. He did what they say he did. Until otherwise proven, he is guilty. For DDG, this is an allegation. But if you find yourself in a situation like this, you're going to lose. If you find yourself in court as a black man or a man of color, you're going to lose. If this comes out in the court of public opinion, you're going to lose. And even if somehow you magically convince the world and the judges or the court that all of this did not happen, the little mermaid is lying on me. You still have a child with this person. It is not going to get better. You're going to lose. So again, fellas, I'm Unc. I'm big bro. I'm Unc at this point. I've completed a few successful years on this earth. So I'm really saying this to you all. I already practiced this in my life. You all better protect yourself. Protect your peace. Does this sound like a situation that anybody wants to be in? Even the person that is accused of doing this, let's say they did it. Do you think they wanted to? Does anybody envision their life with their co-parent, wife, baby moms being this way? Nobody envisions their life being this way. The accused or the accuser. So again, protect yourself. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Is DDG cooked? I think he's about to get the Tory Lanez treatment. There's no way he could win. There's video evidence. I don't know who introduced the physical altercation dynamic or that dynamic into their relationship, but it doesn't matter. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section. It's your boy, 11, a.k.a. Have It Sent. 11, not 12. Now, I'll holla at y'all later.